Hello, this is Brighid Doherty of the Solidago Herb School, the Healthy Herb Podcast, and from the Nourishing Herbal Infusions course on the Herb Rally YouTube station, and I'm here to answer your questions. First question we have is, let me pull it up here, from listener NV6679. And it's, can you use hawthorn berries in a nourishing herbal infusion? And short answer is yes, you definitely can use hawthorn berries in a nourishing herbal infusion. Although my experience with it is probably you're not getting the most from your hawthorn berries if you're using them just in a nourishing herbal infusion. The way you can tell if you can use an herb in a nourishing herbal infusion is basically if it doesn't have a lot of scent, if it's nourishing, if it has a lot of minerals and vitamins and nutrition to it, and if it's a food. And so hawthorn berries is essentially a berry, a wild food. It's related to the apples and the rosehips. And so this would classify as a food. However, they're so hard and tough that to really get the most from them, I feel like they really should be simmered. So either making a strong decoction where you're simmering the dried berries for 20 to 40 minutes, or if you're making a syrup would be really good with the hawthorn berries. So simmering them down, maybe even for longer than 40 minutes so that your water content is halved from when you started. And then you can add an equal amount of a sweetener, sugar or honey, and then take it by the spoonful. So it concentrates the hawthorn and the berries, and I just feel like it extracts better. It would be like drinking blueberry tea juice. I don't know, like drinking a blueberry beverage versus eating like blueberry jam. So that's my comparison there. I don't know if that's the best comparison, but also I really like to make nourishing herbal infusions with hawthorn leaves and flowers. So that is where I go with the nourishing infusions in the realm of hawthorn, still very beneficial for the heart. Also, I found on some research that it helps the body to produce collagen, which is why I was drinking a lot of hawthorn leaf and flower when I was recovering from a knee injury. Okay, next question, RB Johnson. What do you think of adding about a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar as we infuse things like alfalfa or nettles to pull out more minerals from the herbs? And this is an interesting question. I don't know the answer to this. My first instinct gut is I don't think it's necessary. I think that the vinegar takes longer to extract the minerals and then the water does, especially like really hot water in like a concentrated kind of steamed situation in the jar where have a really tight lid on it and there's some pressure added to the hot water while the infusion steeps. That being said, I don't think it would hurt to try it out. I don't know that it would make it taste very good. So the whole point of doing the nourishing herbal infusion and letting the herb soak for 4 to 8 or 10 hours is really that you are getting all of the minerals out in that sense. So I don't think you need to add another something to do that. Next question, Lynn Anderson. What do you think of adding a little peppermint to these infusions to help with the absorption? So this is kind of along the same lines. I like where people are going with this, like trying to think of ways that you can even enhance the infusions that much more. But I think adding a little bit of peppermint is fine as long as it's just a pinch, because we don't want to add too much because, again, that has the volatile oils in it. Maybe you could have some peppermint tea on the side if you feel like you're getting a little upset belly or something from the infusions, but the absorption is happening with the nourishing infusion. You don't have to add anything more to it because you're already extracted all of the nutrition, the minerals and the vitamins from the infusion. So the absorption is therefore really easy because you just have to take it out of the water solution at that point in your body. Versus if you were having to, cook the herbs and eat them, and then your body has to extract the minerals and vitamins from the fiber, then maybe adding some sort of digestive herb could be helpful. But I think that in this case, adding the peppermint would be more just to offset any taste things that you don't like, maybe with like the nettle or the comfrey. Kimberly Stevens, would hibiscus work as a nourishing infusion? It is rich in minerals and considered a food herb in my materia medicas. And yes, Kimberly, absolutely. Hibiscus does make a great nourishing herbal infusion. I think there might almost be a video coming soon in the series here that is on hibiscus. I'm pretty sure I did one on hibiscus because it is one of my favorite nourishing herbal infusion herbs, especially in the summertime when it's really hot outside. Hibiscus is very cooling. And it does, if you use the full ounce of herb per cup of water, it really is quite sour. It definitely has that tart aspect to it. So in that case, you can water it down. Or another fun thing to do with your hibiscus infusion is to pour it into ice cube trays and freeze it, and then you can add hibiscus infusion ice cube trays to any beverage or water, iced tea, what have you. But yes, hibiscus, great for the heart and nutrient rich and antioxidant rich. So go for it. But be aware that when you take that first sip, it will be pretty sour. Okay, D. Kulikowski says, your opinion and thoughts on the next morning heating the overnight infusion to 190 degrees and adding some other herbs that are tasty like mints, lemon verbena, etc., and letting it all steep for 3 to 5 minutes. My guess is that is adding more nutrients to the tea. Reheating the infusion and then drinking it, totally fine. I don't know that there's a temperature important gauge there. And adding other herbs is fine. If it helps more with, those are going to help more with the flavor, I think. Because again, to get that nutrition out of the plant material, a tea is not going to do it. A short steep time, 3 to 5 minutes, it's not going to do it. The whole point of the nourishing infusion steeping for as long as it does is that's how long it takes, from my understanding, for the minerals, especially, which we really want are minerals, with the infusions, for the minerals to transfer from the plant material into the water. So yes, totally fine to, once you have your infusion made and it's strained, you can add it to anything to make it taste better or to fit into whatever your lifestyle habits are. But I don't think adding mints and lemon verbena, maybe you'll get a little vitamin C, I don't know, or maybe some really easily accessible vitamins, but you're not going to get more nutrition, but you will get a different flavor. However, along those same lines, I will say that one thing that I love about the nourishing infusions is that we're working with one herb at a time. And I know in modern day herbalism, we are so trained to want to mix our herbs. And I think that there is a lot of beauty in the simplicity of doing and working with the nourishing infusions one herb at a time. It builds intimacy between you and that herb, between your body. It doesn't even have to be like a taste or a mental intimacy. It's actually like on a cellular level, I believe, an intimacy of interacting with one plant, which already has such a vast symphony of nutrients and vitamins in it, mixing and melding with our own body's constitution.